want to thank you, Rob, and thank Joe and Brian for your leadership within our conference, and just really excited for another season within the conference. Here at the University of Maine, just really grateful for our leadership of our Director of Athletics, Jude Kelly, and our President, Joan Farini Mundy, and the support they've given us as a football program and athletic department. And really that kind of leads into just the progress we made last year. I think we did take a step forward, and that was shown. Culturally we improved. Talent-wise, we're continuing to improve our roster. And the character of the guys here, we've improved in the classroom, and that showed on the field. And we fully believe to be taking that next step this year. And I think the guys are moving and working and training with a sense of belief, a sense of purpose, where we have an expectation to improve, an expectation to continue to be competitive with the top half of our conference and compete for championships.
Carter, I'll go to you. You certainly had a huge impact in your first year at Maine last season, one of the top quarterbacks in the conference. As you enter year two, how much more comfortable are you in the second year in the system, and what are some of your goals and expectations going into the year?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, going into year two, obviously we expect to jump from year one to year two. Last year, first season with Coach Stevens and Coach Waters, and they did such a great job of bringing me in and getting me acclimated to the team, getting me in the offensive system, really making me feel comfortable with everything. Year two, I expect it to be even better just because I've been around the guys. I know my teammates even better now. We've been around each other. We're really comfortable. We've had a great off season, just on the field, off the field. The guys have been working really hard, so really expect a lot of success this year. Obviously, we've got to work really hard through fall camp, getting on the same page, just polishing things up. But I'm thankful to be where I'm at. Last year, obviously, was pretty good for us. We made a significant jump, but this year we got to keep raising the standards.
Well, Charles, I'll go to you. 35 tackles last season from the linebacker spot. Your best game was in that big win over Villanova that we touched on, 8 tackles and a forced fumble. Talk about your expectations coming in the year and how you feel about the defense.
Good morning. Thank you for having us on. And expectations are very high. We're humble and hungry. We have a lot to build off from last year, and that's really the message that we're harping on, building off last year. Guys we're more closer as a team. We're doing stuff together as a defense, like off the field together. We went to the lake this past weekend. And yeah, just like holding each other accountable, because the closest teams are the best teams. So us being closer and holding each other accountable is going to really go a long way in the fourth quarter when it's time to really put the big boy pants on. And that's really what it is. And expectations is high. This is my last year. I've seen a tremendous amount of growth out of my 4 years here. I feel as though this is the closest team that I've been on. And yeah, I'm just ready to get this rolling.
If you have questions for any of the main guys, just use the chat feature or the raise your hand icon, and we'll get your questions into them. Larry, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Rob, how you doing?
Good morning, Larry.
Hi. Again, another season upon us. A couple questions. First, Latrell, you lose virtually your entire defensive line. Just thoughts on the defense and again replacing so many defensive linemen. And for Carter, again, we found out you played hurt the second half of the season. What are your expectations for yourself this season? And from what you learned from last year. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, we lost a lot of guys, graduating guys, and a lot of guys to the portal, but that really doesn't mean anything to us. It's next man up mentality. I trust in my brothers. They're going to get the job done. I love how the D-line is working right now. They're working their tails off. So that's really all that matters is next man up. Whoever was here with us, that's in the past. We're worried about the future. So we just focus on the next step right now.
Yeah, Larry. So I would say I wasn't necessarily feeling my best the last half of the season. Had a little knee thing that was bothering me. Kind of tweaked it when we were playing Monmouth, I believe. But I'm feeling great. Running really well, moving around. I feel like I'm in some of the best shape I've ever been in. My body's feeling great. Going into year six, not a lot of guys can say that, but
Recruiting and lay a foundation in a certain area of high school. A player has a great experience here. They have parents talk to parents. There's communities that we can pull from. of guys who have come here and had success in the classroom and on the field, and know that this is a place of sound leadership, where young men are going to be pushed and held accountable and grow and develop. And so I think like what you see is just like a lot of our process and our beliefs that we've had since day one, um, starting to show through. And that's what I believe. And I think we attract who we're attracted to, and that's something that I've been able to see from afar, is like kind of seeing that take shape. And that's really exciting just to see the overall talent, our systems, and like our evaluations of the people kind of show through in our guys developing here.
Next question, guys, from Jack Webb. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning. Thank you, Coach. Just wondering, a name of the game nowadays is getting these recruits in the summer, maybe they had to finish school in the spring semester. How have the new guys integrated themselves over this summer bridge?
Yeah, that's something, we added, I think, 12 new first year guys in July. And then, throughout the summer, some of our transfers have come in. Really, I mean, the onboarding is so important now in this day and age. And there's different entry points into the team, whether it's, start of the spring semester, or it's the start of the summer, or it's midway through the summer. But really intentional in terms of our onboarding of players into the program, in terms of who we are, our purpose, our values, our standards, how we're going to function as a team, and really just kind of peeling that back so everyone can start on a clean slate when they get here and understand kind of like these are our expectations, this is what we're looking to do. And so to get more to your question, like I think the team's coming together, just as we wanted to. Obviously, we haven't played a game yet, but and competition will continue to rise as we get into camp. But really pleased with the guys in this call, Latrell and Carter, and just their leadership and how they've integrated guys in the team, and they've just been really meaningful in terms of how they're connecting with these new guys in the program.
Next question from Azar. Go ahead, Azar.
Yeah, hey coach. This
Hey,
question
Zach,
is
how you
for
doing?
you. Good, good. I wanted to know, last year, I know you don't want to reflect on last season or hold on to it, but it was kind of like up and down. If you look from the outside looking, it was up and down. What do you think the reason was for the way the season ended? What was the reason it clearly didn't end the way maybe you wanted it to? What do you think one of the reasons were, and what do you think you've capitalized in the offseason to make sure that doesn't happen this year?
Yeah, no, that's great question. I mean, just looking at our season, I thought we went through some battles early on and responded, going out to, we had two back-to-back tough games against Montana State, Monmouth, and I thought we responded really well before the bye week. Came back after the bye week and really continued to chip away and found ways to get a win over a very good opponent in Villanova on homecoming. And um, we're able to continue to keep that going. I think when you look at the month of November, I thought um, some of the compound effect of how we managed the early part of the season started to show up. And then I didn't think we were as disciplined as we needed to be at the end of the season. And that's where you're going to win games, is up front, O-line, D-line, the discipline you have, because everyone's got reps under their belt, and has experience throughout the season. So no, that margin for error is much smaller at the end of the year. But yeah, I think being more intentional in terms of what we're doing early in the season, and knowing that that's going to impact us later in the year as well, from my seat as the head coach, and just managing the players, doing a great job of keeping the focus, and knowing that it is a process. You got to show up every week, every game in the CAA. It's competitive from top to bottom. So learning that, I think we're taking steps forward to grow on that and continue to improve as a team.
Thank you.
Yeah, a follow up from Larry. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Coach, just talk about Carter. Again, first year last year, a productive year for him, despite being dinged. What kind of expectations do you have for Carter this season, and thoughts on being picked ninth in the preseason poll? Anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Yeah, Carter's been terrific, in terms of his growth mindset and his ability to continue to put himself out there as a leader. I've seen him grow immensely in that respect. And, I think looking back at last year, I mean, to come in here, he's moving from Georgia to Maine, has a spring ball under his belt, but then, really everything's moving quickly to go into the season. He wins the starting job, and then we're right into the season. So a lot transpired in a short amount of time, and to see his accuracy, he took care of the ball very well. We didn't turn the ball over a ton. We gave our guys, gave his teammates and the team a chance to compete in the end, which was really great to see. So, this year just really just elevating all of us around him. I think it's only going to make him better too. And then just seeing how hard he works, in everything he does, whether it's, here on campus or in the classroom or on the field. I think his teammates recognize that and, continuing to grow as a leader and just being more comfortable. I mean, around his teammates, I think that always lends itself to higher production. And then just answering your other question just on where we're picked, it's on the list of important things I have going on in this team, it's pretty far down there.
Oh, Rob, I'm sorry. I think you might have been muted. Is there time for one more, Rob?
Yeah, I was muted. Good morning, Dan. Go ahead,
Good morning,
Ray.
Rob. Hey, great seeing you.
Good
Quick,
seeing you
hopefully
too.
a quick one for Coach. Not within the CAA actually, but in the Northeast FCS picture with the Ivy League getting involved in the FCS playoffs starting this fall. Just know you, of course, you're familiar with the Ivy. I'm wondering what's your take is on how that could change the dynamic in the region and having that ability of. Obviously, I know you guys still striving to reach the playoffs, but just that dynamic of having the Ivy League be a part of that postseason picture in your region.
Yeah, so I mean, I think anyone that follows FCS football knows how strong the Ivy League is. Um, and just I mean, I don't know their record out of conference, but I'm assuming it's pretty strong in how they match up against non-league opponents. So I think it definitely plays a role in the playoff picture in terms of them being in there. Just I think it only helps us in terms of FCS football and growing the game in FCS football and making it a more competitive game. I think that only helps us. I think adding Sacred Heart helps our conference. The Northeast has so many great football programs with great coaches and talented rosters. So, just regionally, I think it's just it's something that can help us just make the game more competitive. But there'll certainly be there'll be teams in that league that will compete far into the playoffs as well.
All right. Jordan, Carter, Latrell, thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck.